வணக்கம் எப்படி இருக்கிறீங்க Wilbur Sargunaraj பேசுறேன் greetings everybody this is Wilbur Sargunaraj welcome to another episode of CQ Chats. This is episode number 4. We are taking a virtual journey around the world during this pandemic because we are all in lockdown mode. We can't go out there. So I thought this would be a great way to increase our cultural intelligence and get to know our friends from around the world. Today, we're taking a trip to rural Holland to visit one of my dear friends who's going to introduce himself in just a bit. Before that, I just hope that everyone is doing well, that you are safe, and that you are healthy. Happy December to all of you out there, and welcome again to CQ Chats. Mr. Jeroen, it's so good to have you on CQ Chats. Okay, how do you say greetings? We are in Holland now, so this episode is all about Holland. So teach us how to say
really
hello. Yes. how do you say hello in your language, in Dutch?
It's very simple. It's like hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Okay, hello. Do you have?
So I have to switch back and forth. So sometimes do I say it in English? Or did I say it just in Dutch? But okay, it's hello.
Hello. Okay, perfect. Hello. And do you have like a word to say? How are you? How are you doing?
Hoe gaat het?
Hoe gaat het?
Hoe gaat het met u? Of hoe gaat het met jou?
Hoe gaat het met jou? Wow. Hoe gaat het met jou? Did I say that right? Hoe gaat het met jou?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes. So, Jeroen, Mr. Jeroen, we have known each other for a long time. You're a very
almost a decade.
Almost a decade. I have been looking forward to this episode ever since I started this series, CQ Chats, because I know you're the perfect person to talk about this whole thing, what we're going to talk about today. So before we start though, just maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a therapist, a consultant, and you live in one of the most beautiful and scenic places in the world. Drenthe, is that the
yes
area?
You say it right. Drenthe. It's like a province of Holland, and it is I think the less population density of the Netherlands, and I call it the Netherlands, not Holland, but Holland is 2 provinces together.
Okay, so
north and south.
Explain that to us. So there are almost 3. There's Holland, Netherlands, and you only use Netherlands. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And why do you call it? What is Netherlands, and why do you prefer saying you live in Netherlands?
Because we are a kingdom.
Okay.
And the Kingdom of the Netherlands has I think 12 provinces, if I'm correct. 12, okay. Yes.
And then Holland, what is the meaning of Holland then?
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty difficult. It goes way back. I think I don't know how long. Long time ago, because the main capitals are located down there. I think that I can say that.
But you prefer to call your country like you live in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
Yeah. So is it incorrect if someone says I live in Holland?
For me, yes, I think.
Yeah, you think, okay, wow, that's fascinating. So do most people say that they live in Netherlands, like right now in Netherlands? Would they say that?
Yeah, and if a foreign man or a woman doesn't understand, then they will quietly shift to I'm coming from Holland. Then like that. I think I don't know exactly how the history went, but Holland is more famous than the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Of the Netherlands, wow. So tell us, how is it living in rural Holland? It is such a beautiful place, and you've
been there.
Yes, I was gonna, and we're gonna talk about that in our conversation today. That's where we met, I think twice. I think now, but it's such a picturesque, amazing space. You must really enjoy living there. I mean, do you prefer living do you like the small town area, or do you prefer living in the city?
Most of my life, I did live in the rural parts of the Netherlands. Yeah, I never went to go move to a city. I don't know why. I think it's just the way life is going. But I don't mind thinking I'm living in the city, but I prefer the nature because it's so.
You and me have that. We are in. We have much in common, and that is one of the things that we love. I love living in a quiet place in the rural parts. That's wonderful, Mr. Jeroen. We don't have lots of time. We need to go and burn through all these questions here because I have so
Burn
many.
it.
I have so many questions for you today. So today, let's talk about our topic. So we're going to cover as much as we can a few little things about Netherlands. But one of the things I want to talk to you about is this concept in the Netherlands called Niksen.
You were
And
mesmerized by it.
I am very mesmerized by it because I felt Niksen the first time that I came to Holland to visit you. It was, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. But so Niksen, in nutshell, if I'm correct, means like doing nothing without
Doing
any
nothing.
doing nothing. So tell us a little bit more. Is that what it is? Is that what you would say it is? Like, because I'm so fascinated. Niksen, what would that mean as a Dutch person?
For me, it's like to process the things I encounter in life. Maybe on job things, work, or family things. And sometimes, if you have a moment of spare time, you can go. Don't want to say do something, but do nothing.
Right.
But the word "do" is already in that sentence. So
Right.
if you don't do everything, you are processing your thoughts, your feelings, and making your head clear, maybe, and getting down in your body, your system, and feel what it is. It's like doing nothing on a lazy Sunday afternoon, something
Yes.
like that. I think that's more the feeling
Yeah.
of that.
Is that an actual Niksen? Is that like a Dutch? Is that a word that you would maybe like?
Yeah,
It's an actual word.
and it doesn't mean because we are so as how do you say it,
Culture,
population,
popular. Yeah.
culture. Um, we are always doing
Yes.
something,
Yes.
constructing or working or doing social things. So we are pretty occupied if you want to put it
Yes.
like this. And sometimes you have in moments there's nothing really.
Yes. Well, I think it's so important that we all come to this place where we actually can stop and say life is not always just about doing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about being. But I mean, do you think people in the city, let's say for example, people in Rotterdam or Amsterdam, do you think you practice Nixon more than they would because you're in your community or the place where you live in, it's easier for you to do that, right? Because you're in the rural parts. Do you think that's true, or do they actually practice the same thing? Would they find the
I think I
time
think I think the same thing, but on another level.
on another level?
Because if you're living in the big city or something, or you have a big social surrounding with friends and family or
Yes,
whatever, you're pretty occupied.
right. And I think it must be very difficult, let's say maybe for some other countries or clusters. I like to call them there's 10 cultural
Mm-hmm.
clusters and 10 cultural values. So some of the countries um, that maybe have a strong orientation of like doing orientation, because you have in the cultural value you have being and doing. So like
Yeah.
doing is all about task oriented. You need to do, the importance of job and work, whereas the
Mm-hmm.
culture of being is like you're relaxed and you're focused more on the quality of
Mm-hmm.
life. So when, let's say for example, you have like maybe someone from Japan coming into the Netherlands, and for them to practice Nixon, just to do nothing, it must be very difficult, right? Have you ever encountered that? Maybe seen different people like really, or even just within your culture, for example, um,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen people really struggle with the idea, the concept of Nixon, saying, I can't do that.
Yes. But this is straight up. I think it's more the nature of the person that is struggling with doing nothing. Or maybe
Yeah.
of perception with the parents, or perception from church or whatever. You need
Yes.
to do it. You need, at least you are doing something. You need to do something
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't have a really concrete straight answer for that
Do you
question.
feel? Do you feel that's okay? Do you feel that maybe like some Dutch people may think that Nixon means like you're being lazy? You know, the people who are always wanting
Hmm.
to
Yes.
do.
Hmm.
Are there some people who disagree in like Holland, or I mean in Netherlands? Sorry,
Yes.
would you think that they would disagree with Nixon?
Yes,
But
for
you think,
sure.
it's a positive thing, right? Or
Yes, because if you're making your mind clear and you're making your system more at ease, new things will come. You know?
yes. And I think that's the whole thing where, where for me as an artist, even I found in this
Yes.
age of social media, it's very
Hmm.
hard because there's so much information that we are allowing ourselves to be filled in, right, with our technology. So there is
Hmm.
no time for the brain, if we put our phone down and just like sit and just become bored to the point
Hmm.
where we're just like, okay, we're bored. Then the mind starts thinking, and it's not
Yes.
like I'm in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's not like I'm in that phase because I want to do something. I just want to actually have the time and the space to let my mind be creative, and that's the only way as an artist for me that I can actually write songs or come up with different things. So, like I would think that Niksen would be a beautiful thing for people just to, if they want to be more creative,
Yes, for sure.
is to do nothing. But I think it's very difficult for our society because we are trained that we are supposed to always what do, always
Yeah.
work, always work.
Or getting info, or being occupied, or whatever.
Yes.
Yes.
I really honestly, Jeroen, I think I experienced in Niksen for the first time when you invited me to come to Holland, to your area, to your community there. It was so that was the first time I experienced Niksen because I had a strong we were talking about this. I can, and I'm very vocal about this because I had a very strong anxiety attack, a panic attack, and I remember,
I know.
my heart was pounding. I had
Hmm.
palpitation. We had just finished filming the Simple Superstar movie, I think in
I know.
2013.
Yes, I
And
know.
then you said, "Why don't you come over?" So when I came there, I had been coming off of 1 month of every day filming, waking up early, going to bed, and it was work, 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 work. And then I came, and it was the most beautiful thing because I had no agenda anymore, right? We would wake up. You would say, "Come on, Wilbur, jump on my bike." We would go on the bike, and we would
Oh
just
yeah,
bike.
the bike trip.
Yes, the bike trip. We would bike to rural Holland. And for me, I think that was the first time that I experienced Nixon and the power of Nixon of just doing nothing. I had no goal, no purpose to say I'm going to do that, except for maybe one thing. I wanted to make a video with you. I remember how to, or something. I remember we made one video about visiting the rural parts of Holland. We have a video on YouTube. I think that was the only time that I actually had something that I was planning. Apart from that, I was so relaxed. And I think that trip for me, it opened my
Hmm.
eyes. Even though I didn't know the concept of Nixon back then, I think I went through, I encountered, I
Yes, yes,
experienced
yes, 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 yes.
Nixon back then. So I want to thank you for actually allowing me to experience.
You have been allowed to nix.
So I mean, so we've been talking about this. So you think it's really something beautiful that we can use with stress, right? And anxiety
Yes,
with
you
people.
you you can relieve, and if you are relieved,
Yeah.
there's some space to create and
Yes.
manifest.
Yes, and so many people these days I feel are very proud. Here's the thing. So many people are proud to overwork themselves. And they almost, you see some of these posts on
Hmm.
LinkedIn saying that here are the top 5 millionaires of the world. They wake up at 3 in the morning and then they only go to bed at like 2 at night, and this is the key to success. They don't sleep. How how do you function as a human being when you are so proud about not getting rest, not cleaning your mind, not I think it's just so fascinating that people these days are proud about overworking themselves and being burnt out, you know, and that they're not focused on just, hey, what about being proud about relaxing and enjoying the time with my friends, just doing nothing and cleaning out my mind, just sitting down. And the time that we had in 2013, that's something that I'll never forget because of that. So I think Niksen is something for everyone, especially even during the pandemic. Now so many people are being asked to stay inside their house.
Yeah. People are getting creative, I see in my surroundings. So yeah, some business are collapsing, so they need to adjust, doing more web-based servers or something like that.
Yes.
So it's really interesting.
That's amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching this program, we are encouraging you to practice Niksen.
Niksen.
Is just to do nothing, to take some time out and just to be bored, which is so good for the
Bored
body.
and being not being lazy, but being
Yes.
bored, or beyond boarding, being bored.
Fantastic. Yes. And it's so important. I think it's such an important thing. I mean, we fill those cracks in our lives, our times, with so many things. We don't have that time to fill that with rest. And we don't like, see, this is the thing. We don't like we don't associate rest as a positive thing. We associate rest with being lazy. And that's, I think, the problem.
It's not constructive or something like that.
You're not accomplishing anything, right? This is
nothing.
What people think. So this is sad. That's not what we're saying. We're not asking you to be lazy. We're asking you to actually take the time to revitalize your body, is just to sit down and to just be bored so that your mind has some space to actually maybe glean off some of the information that you've received, right? I mean,
yes.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
So I have something. It's like active laziness.
Active laziness.
Something like that.
Just beautiful. I'll write that down here. Active laziness.
Being active in being lazy.
Being active in being lazy. And I think for so many people with the pandemic now, you're at home, you're thinking, what do? I need to be doing. Sure, you can be constructive, you can go out there and do, but also remember to take the time to be quiet and to do nothing, to maybe spend some time, whether that's even like with your families, like going out there and because these are times that we will never ever get back, no. Like it's just once. We only have one life to live right now. So
and that's this life.
Yes, absolutely. So Mr. Jeroen, we are going to do my favorite part of this the show, the episode, which is called CQ Suggestions. But before that, I was going to quickly ask you, there's another Dutch word that I was going to talk to you about. And so
is it with your shirt? Do you mean that word?
Oh, no, that we're going to come to this one. we'll get to that one. This one actually has to do with, there's a word in Denmark, and it's called, hygge. It's called hygge. And it's about just being really cozy, I think is the equivalent. There's a sense of being very cozy and comfortable. And I don't think it's like Niksen. I think, but in Dutch there is a word like hygge, and I think I was asking you about that the other, and I make sure that I'm pronouncing it right. Gezelligheid.
Gezellig of gezelligheid.
Wow, there it is. Gezelligheid. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about this word.
Yeah, it's like coming together and not being productive, but having a sort of leisure time and eating some food and some little drinks with it, going with it. Like that.
So then that
it's
would
like
be
so socializing on a, how do you say it?
So that would be like
cozy,
being sense of community, togetherness. So that is almost like the word hygge. So this is
Yeah.
so people out there. There's a couple of terminology that you can learn. So it's. Can you say that again? That word in Dutch, Gazelle.
Gezelligheid.
Gezelligheid. Okay, gezelligheid. So we today have learned about gezelligheid, which is more of a sense of
Yes.
closeness, community. But Niksen, that's the important one that I wanted to kind of share with everyone today. So now, moving on to our CQ suggestions. Oh yeah, we were talking about the shirt. For those of you who are watching, first of all, let me actually quickly tell you, if you have any questions at all, I'm sorry this is a live stream, so we can't take questions right now as we go, but you can type out your questions in the bottom on the comment section, and Jeroen, Mr. Jeroen will gladly, I think, respond to you. I will do my best to kind of field those questions too as well. Okay, the shirt. Both Jeroen and I are av geeks. We are aviation geeks. We love airplanes. This actually was, I have this on my shelf here. This is a wonderful, the Queen, the KLM Boeing 747-400.
Yes.
This was a gift actually that you gave to me. That was very, very special. Thank you, Mr. Jeroen. So here's another terminology that we're going to learn. Everyone, you know the K and the L and the M, but do you actually know what it means? So, Mr. Jeroen, you're going to check. Now there's a video that we made in front of Schiphol Airport, and we did this.
Yes.
Tell us, what is the abbreviation for KLM?
Ooh, it's sorry, slip of the tongue.
That's fine.
It's Koninklijke Luchtvaartmaatschappij.
Wow!
Woo!
Look, mommy, there goes the Koninklijke Luchtvaartmaatschappij.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, now let's break that down really, really quickly. Koninklijke.
Yeah, that's like royal.
Royal. Koninklijke.
Yes. Yeah.
Koninklijke Luchtvaart.
Luchtvaart.
Luchtvaart is plane.
No, aviation.
Aviation. And maatschappij.
Maatschappij, yeah, it's like the company.
Like the company. Wow,
Yes.
Jeroen, I am sure you have increased everyone's cultural intelligence right there. Terminology.
Yes,
So
totally.
And if those of you who want to get deeper into that word, there's an actual video you can watch on YouTube called How to Pronounce, I think, KLM or something like that. We made a video together.
That was the first time I've encountered you.
Oh, what an encounter! What an encounter.
Really?
And after 10 years, here we are. That is so beautiful. So, Mr. Jeroen, oh yeah, someone was asking about, can you type out the word? And if you can go back after this and type out the word gezelligheid, just the spelling. We'll
oh yeah, really.
Them. So, in CQ suggestions, we just want to end off by telling people maybe something that you can recommend. It could be a movie, it could be music, Dutch music, it could be a food.
I think I will go for the food because, sure. And you know what I want to say. I think you know. It's stroopwafels.
I have it ready. So explain to our viewers, what is stroopwafels?
It's like a cookie with yeah, like caramel stroop.
Okay.
Look on the side. It's stroopy as.
Oh yeah, it's all.
It can be
caramel. Ooh. Wow, very healthy, huh? Very, very healthy.
Yeah, it's really healthy. Really sweet, but I think it's the best you can get from Holland or the Netherlands.
Okay, stroopwafel. That is the thing. That is the food.
That's the thing. And there are lots of food things you can.
Fish. You told me once fish, herring or something.
Yeah, like raw herring with the onions. You eat it like this.
Yummy.
Dutch food. Not for everyone, but it's okay.
Now I have a mug here, and usually you take the stroop and you put it on top of the mug, right?
Yes.
To make it nice and soft.
Yeah, if you have coffee or tea, you having a moment with your neighbor or with your friend, with the gezelligheid.
Yes.
cozy. You take out your packets with stroopwafels and you heat it up above your beverage.
Beautiful. Unfortunately, today this is a Japanese mug. It's too big for the stroop. The stroop would the stroop would fall inside the mug, so I can't
Yes.
actually do that. So, but thank you so much, Jeroen. So stroop waffles and herring. That's something a food item. One last thing, since Christmas is around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
how do you say Merry Christmas? There's another word. You actually did that before too. You taught me this one.
Oh,
Merry.
now I have to switch back to Dutch again.
Yeah. Switch back to
Oh
your.
ja, vrolijk kerstfeest.
One more time, please.
Vrolijk
Vrolijk.
kerstfeest.
Vrolijk kerstfeest.
Vrolijk, it is like happy, vrolijk.
Yeah,
Kerstfeest, so
kerstfeest.
Christmas.
Perfect. Okay, so vrolijk kerstfeest is
Kerstfeest.
kerstfeest is Christmas.
Yeah.
What is the other word that I see all the time when you say happy birthday? Gierfi.
Gefeliciteerd.
Yes, I forget how to pronounce that one.
Gefeliciteerd.
Gefeliciteerd.
It's a tongue struggle, but
But
gefeliciteerd.
Gefeliciteerd. I will get to it. I
Yes.
will get it. And it's wonderful. CQ is not just about being perfect. It's not about knowing every culture in the world. It's not about knowing all the values in the world.
It's so nice that you say, but you have like a Dutchman that's not really the Dutchiest of Dutch. So
So it's okay. What I'm trying to say is okay to make mistakes. It's totally fine.
it's okay.
And that's what you have taught me so much, Mr. Jeroen. It is okay. It's
Hmm.
one of the things we can celebrate that. And I would say we can celebrate Niksen as well today.
Nixon, yes.
Yes,
You know what I've got?
not the President Nixon.
No,
Niksen,
active laziness.
active laziness. Is there anything you would like to share in conclusion with the world about your country? Anything that you would like to say? One thing that you would like to tell the world about uh, Netherlands? It could be a special message.
Is it like before the COVID or in the COVID? Because I have some.
How about in the COVID to encourage people out there?
Yeah, I think if I'm putting it right, we are still manifesting on new kinds of ways to being active in business or sports or whatever. So yeah, it's if you are being struck by COVID, don't be down or whatever. Take your benefits from it.
Always see the good in the
Yes.
midst of the bad too
Mm-hmm.
as well. And there always, when we're going through the valley, we know that there is a mountain ahead and that we will reach
Oh, for sure.
the top. And it's also finding how can we actually, in the midst of that valley, how can we look at our circumstances, what we have, and actually take good from it and make the most out of it. Make the economy first class, making the common extraordinary, finding beauty in what is broken.
And
And
don't be afraid to connect with people.
yes,
So because it's really important to still connect with people,
yes,
even with the mask or maybe with FaceTime or
yes.
with the social things. Stay connected. It's more
Stay
important than ever.
connected. Stay connected, ladies and gentlemen, and always practice gezelligheid, coming
Yeah.
to, coming together. And don't forget about Niksen. Really, seriously, take the time. Put your phones away. Put your things away, the
Yes.
gadgets, the electronics away, and just do nothing. Allow yourself to be, and
And
it's okay.
try it for the first time for 1 hour if you are. I don't want to say addicted, but try it. And you have some struggle and try it a little bit more, it will be easier. And then, oh, whoa, I'm getting in the flow. Let's go.
Yay, I'm getting in the flow. Let's go. I'm getting in the flow. Let's go. It's like a rap you can make, Mr. Jeroen.
I feel a new hit song coming together.
Yes, let's collaborate. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this program. This has been CQ Chats with a therapist and consultant, Mr. Jeroen Smit from rural Holland.
Thank
This
you.
is episode 4, Niksen in Netherlands. Roman and Rie, how do you say thank you in Dutch again? Thank you.
Dankjewel en tot de volgende keer. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Dankjewel.